Welcome, everybody. Carrie Leonardini here. I'm super excited because I got my girl, Crystal Sherrill here. Her and I met back in, what was it, April 2022? Yes, through a coaching program, Purpose to Platform, right? P2P. So we met there and then we got to connect more and I got to hear her story. I was like, oh, when I heard her health journey and her story and how she lost, what was it, 70 pounds, Crystal, on your
Yeah,
own?
70, 80 pounds. Yes.
On her own. I was like, what? You got to come and share. Like, how did you do that? She didn't buy, 1,000 programs. She didn't do any crazy like juice cleanses or go get it removed. Like she did it the natural way. And so I really am excited for her to share her journey and her story as a way to encourage you all and to let you know it's possible, right? So those of you who are on the journey, maybe you are wanting to improve your health, whether that's weight loss or just overall health and wellness, that it is possible, it can be done. And so I'm excited for Crystal here to share her story. So welcome, Crystal.
Hi. I'm excited. I am excited. I like talking about this because it's a roadblock that so many people can't get over. And um, people just need to know it's possible, right? I think sometimes we get stuck in thinking things are impossible for us. And I don't know, more people just need to know it's possible for regular, normal people to do this thing. So I'm excited.
I love it, girl. And I think too, the biggest part, right? Like everybody knows, oh, we need to eat better. We should have more veggies. We need to exercise. But it's like the doing part, right? The implementation part can be so challenging because of what goes on between our ears, those thoughts that can come up that hold us back, right? So I love it. So I would love to hear, I'd love for you to share, like, where were you at before your health transformation? Like, what was life like? How were you feeling? How was your weight affecting you?
Well, I always say my weight wasn't affecting my confidence. So that's one key part, is that my weight did not affect my confidence, but it's almost like it was a good and a bad to that, right? Because it wasn't affecting my confidence, I didn't see the health issues that it was causing because I was confident about how I looked. I was very comfortable in what I wore. I was comfortable being 280 pounds. Like I was the most confident big girl you probably seen, right? So I think because of that confidence, I neglected the health concerns behind it. So that was like my pro and con. So I think I started with a very confident concept of myself. And one day I'll share the picture with you. One picture changed my whole mindset around it. I got one photograph back from a friend's party, and we had taken pictures at her 22nd birthday, and a picture of me sitting on like a counter in like a hotel suite we had, and I like covered the counter, and I was like, "Is that me?" I didn't see myself from that perspective or that lens because I saw myself from this very confident lens, which we should think of ourselves. We should be very confident of who we are, our abilities, but sometimes that confidence can shadow real concerns. And when I got that picture developed, I saw myself from a different lens, and it was like snap of a finger, I was done with it. And I was done. I had to start seeing myself from this new lens that this photo had just developed, right? And it was like a development. We had developed photos, right? You had to go get them from Walgreens. So I saw it and I was like, oh, wow, this is me. And I had seen myself from a different lens for the first time. And it triggered me to seek change. And yeah, so.
Did that affect when you saw that picture? Because you said you had a very confident outlook on yourself, right? You had that positive outlook. You didn't think less when we saw that picture. Did that affect your confidence at all? Or is it just like, oh, hey, there's something that I need to address here?
No, still didn't affect my confidence. I still was very confident, but I saw the issues I needed to address. So it let me see from a different lens the issues I had, but it did not affect my confidence. I will say that.
Love it. So what were some maybe key actions or habits that you had to start adopting in order to achieve your goal? Like, did you set goals? Did you have a specific like North Star you were following, or did you have more of an intention?
It was intention. I had no goals. I woke up the next day. It was literally the next day. Before I even go there, though, I will say that I am a very action oriented person. So, in order to get from point A to point B of anything, I don't care if it's to get from point A to B to here to get to the grocery store, right? I have to make a step. I got to put my foot in the direction of my car, and then I have to put my car in the direction of the store. I got to make a step. I got to put the gas to, I got to put the, so I am a very action oriented person naturally because that's the concept that is in my mind about life. So the next day after this picture was developed, I immediately took action. I don't need motivation to take action because I know action is what makes movement. So I woke up the next day. I cleared my house. I lived in an apartment with my college friend at the time. I cleared our whole apartment, anything that was mine that was, I considered unhealthy. So that was potato chips, that was snacks, that was soda, pop, it was anything. I cleared it. I took a big garbage bag, swept it all inside the garbage bag, and I took the garbage bag outside. Because I knew in order to do this, I would have to put some strict regulations around what I had around me that could be enticing. People have to understand that food is another, it's an addiction. It could be an addiction. The components of food are addictive components, right? So I think people have to also give themselves some grace during this time because it's not all their fault. The foods we eat are helping us be inconsistent with our health. They're created to do that, by the way. They're created to make you want more. They put delicious seasoning on ranch Doritos because
Yes.
they know Crystal is going to love the taste of the sugar that's in there. And I'm going to keep eating a bag of Doritos, right?
Seriously.
So so I think people have to start with giving themselves grace first, that this is not all your fault. The world has conditioned us to do this way. So I cleared my whole house because I knew that I couldn't have it around me. So I'm saying it's like an addiction because people have to remember, just like somebody could be addicted to a drug, they need to be cleared from being around it. Or let's say alcohol is something that someone struggles with. They can't be around it until they're back in their safe zone, right? They have to give some time away from it, and they have to so slowly integrate it back into their life safely, where they can be around it or be in the same room with it without needing it, right? So I immediately trashed everything in my house, all food. And I went to my mother's house, and she has some old Denise Austin workout tapes. And I got the tapes from her house, and I went back to my apartment, and I started working out with Denise Austin every morning for 60 minutes. I didn't know if it was helping anything or not. I didn't know if it was changing anything at the time or not. I wasn't setting those strict goals. I was just being very intentional that I'm going to get up every morning before college. I was still in college. I'm going to work out 60 minutes in my living room because I didn't feel conscious and self-conscious. I felt self-conscious of going to the gym. And I'm going to do this thing, and I'm going to walk. And I started doing that very consistently. I started working out 2 days a week. 2 times a day. Let me be honest. I was working out 2 times a day, 5 days a week. I was working out in the morning, and I would work out again at night at the college gym where everybody wasn't there at night, because then I would feel comfortable there. But in the morning, I worked out at home, and then we had the gym on campus, and I would work out after my classes at the gym. I was working out 2 times a day. I trashed all the food in my house, and I started making very conscious decisions about when I ate out with other people. I would eat my right food or eat the food I was supposed to eat. So when I went out with friends, I actually wasn't hungry. And I could sit at the table while we're at Fridays and watch them eat or drink and do all this stuff. And I didn't feel enticed by it. I was actually full. I would get me a Diet Coke. I was still entertained with people, but I didn't participate in what they were doing. Those were probably like 3 major habits I changed.
That's huge. I want to come back to how you were saying, how foods, it's not all your fault, right? Like, when food addiction is real, what we don't always like saying it's a food addiction. Well, when we always go to it and always eat it, we have trouble not eating it. We know it's an addiction, right? We can't be like, oh, I'm done with it, right? So we know, so it's not us, it's that chemical alteration in the brain that happens. Because like you said, the main goal of these manufacturers when they produce these products is to make it as addictive as possible, because then you'll keep buying their product. That's the whole purpose of hiring these scientists.
That's their selling point.
And they have and it's not natural foods. If it was natural foods, we wouldn't have the problem. It's the additives and preservatives they put in that alter our brain chemistry that lead us to an addiction. So it does take time. So like what you did, removing everything, any temptation out of your physical space, so you can't see it and then want it. But I'm sure, did you still have cravings for it in the beginning?
No.
Whoa, that's awesome, girl. So that's
Yeah.
big. So I will say a lot of people may still have cravings for it or desire for it. But again, it depends on your personality. Like Chris, like you said, you're an action taker. Nope, this is it. You're done. You've already settled it in your mind. You've already decided you're on. And some of us, like me, it might take a few days or a week or two before I'm like, I don't think about those Cool Ranch Doritos in my cupboard anymore, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's important too, because it can take time for that to be out of your system to where it's not influencing you above what your self-control can handle. So that great
Correct.
is huge.
And everybody is different. Everyone is different. I can make cold cuts like that. I can be like, I was doing this yesterday and I'm immediately not doing it anymore. And but that's a personality trait of mine. That I do very well. So I could say nope, and I didn't think anything of it. And I still live with a roommate who had it. So I didn't live by myself. So I would live with my roommate, and she would still have her chips and Doritos, and we love Doritos, and we would have tons of them in the house. And I didn't want them. I was like, no, I don't. Told my brain, you can't have that right now. So it's almost like if someone's struggling with telling themselves or struggling with the fact that they have to give it up, I just remind my brain that this is helping you, right? This is good for you. And I keep reminding myself that I'm only going to do the things that are best for me. So when I realize that I'm doing something that's not the best for me, I can immediately say, well, what is the best for me? And then I just do that thing. And
awesome, girl. I love that.
I know, and that's a superpower. I had a friend recently tell me like that's a superpower, Chris. I didn't think of it like that, but I could just tell my brain to do what I want it to do, and then it just does it. And that's how I did it. And I know some people won't be able to do it that easily. So I would say if you're not able to do it that easily, practice makes progress.
Yes.
Not perfection. We're not trying to reach perfection, but we are trying to reach progress. So keep practicing the thing, even if you slip. Start over. Even if you do, keep starting, keep practicing, and those practice become habits, and then those habits make change. So if someone is struggling with turning it off, all you can do is keep trying to practice like we did when we start driving, right? We practice, right? We practice in the car, we drove with somebody safely until we got it. So just keep practicing if you need to.
I love that, girl. I love it. So after you made that decision, you cleaned it all out, you started working out twice a day. It sounds like you did your cardio in the morning and maybe did some weights in the evening.
I probably did. Yes, because I went to the gym at the evening, but I did cardio at night too, and I added weights at night.
Okay. No, I love it. And then how long was this process for you? What did that look like? Did it evolve and change? And how long did maybe you keep these foods out of your physical space? Did you ever add some of these things back in down the road?
I did, but it probably wasn't until I hit a desirable, I will say, I guess maybe a desirable look for myself or how I felt, a desirable feeling. And then I started to integrate it back in, but not until then. So I originally was 275, just to be correct. I was 275 and on my own with no gym membership, with no motivational coach, with no one pushing me, I was able to successfully lose 60 pounds.
That's
probably what was about 8 months.
Wow.
It was, but let me tell you, I was working out twice a day. I did a drastic change in my diet, but I can take drastic like that. Everyone can't. So you have to follow what you're capable of doing. I can immediately go from 0 to 100 and vice versa, 100 to 0. So I can bring an immediate drop to something and start over. So I immediately start in my whole diet change right away. It wasn't like a gradual change. So my weight didn't leave gradually because I made a very drastic change in my lifestyle. So it caused a very drastic result, right? I instantly to where people who knew me was like, they honestly asked me if I had been doing drugs. And I was like, well, that's offensive. And I was like, because
What?
it happens.
Thank you so highly of me.
It was so drastic that people were concerned. That's how fast it happened. And I went from 275 to, before you know it, 210, 220. And they're like, whoa, wait, what were you doing? And I was like, I worked out. And they didn't see it happening, right? Because I'm doing this secretly in the morning, 4 a.m., 5 a.m. before the sun up. I'm outside walking all summer. I walked all summer every morning. That happened 7 days a week, though. Yeah. And 5 days a week, I was still going to the gym at night. So they didn't see these secret sessions I was having with myself. So for someone, it was a shock because they were like, wait, what happened? You were this, and now you're instantly that. So it did raise concerns, but I was doing it in my own secrecy, and it was okay. I didn't need, I'm so glad like social media and stuff wasn't around. I didn't need to make a video or make a TikTok about doing it. I just did it. I woke up and I did it. And if no one saw me doing it, I was completely okay because I felt good with what I was doing for myself. And I think this world of social media is also hindering people because you feel like you have to show it or people have to see it on display for you to prove it. People thought I did drugs, Scary, because it happened so drastically and I did it in the secrecy of myself. So I'm so glad I had that time because I could imagine trying to do it right now in this world that we live in. It would, it would probably feel a lot different. So I know people are struggling.
Well, even today, with, being in the industry, it's like, oh, you got to show what you do. You got to show this, show that. When it's like, well, part of me is like, why? I don't want to. But then it's like, oh, you're building a business. You got to show, give them all these things for business building. But for on a journey, it's like, it's so easy where we go on social media and then we can see people or follow accounts and we're like, well, look what they've done. I'm not even there yet. It can be discouraging if we're not careful of what lens we're looking out of as well. Because we're all on our own journey. Like you said, you're able to switch it off. Others, it might take time gradually. And there's all that in between as well. And just recognizing their own individual journey, that it's not anybody else's. They don't have to follow anybody else's plan. You definitely can get inspiration and ask questions, but they have to make it according to what their desired, goals or intentions are, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I will say they should make it as simple as possible. As simple, it's so simple that it's something that they can do. I think that's what people with building any habit, if you make it too complex, your mind can't remember to do it because there's too many parts to it. So it's not building a habit. You make it too complex. Make it so simple. I keep telling people, make things so simple a toddler can do it. I need to make it so simple my toddler could follow it if I told them to. And I think we try to make this complex when people go into weight loss. They want to have the gym routine. They want to make sure the clothes are cute. They want to do this. They want to do all the pieces. They want to meal prep. They want to try to do they want to come out the gate with all the parts. It's not going to be sustainable. You have to make it super simple so you could gain the right habit. Then you change it. And I start doing the bodybuilding and I start doing strength training with the coach. Then I start doing meal prep. I didn't start with meal prep. I used to make 2 boiled eggs every morning, 3 boiled eggs, and a half slice of toast and a half a piece of grapefruit. I did that for like 6 months straight. It was the only breakfast I had. But I'm also that kind of person. Well, I don't need a lot of change. I just need the same thing because if it's working, I like it. I did 3 boiled eggs, half slice of toast, and a half grapefruit. I ate the same thing for almost 6 to 8 months.
Dang, I would have shot myself. I can't eat the same thing over and over
because
again.
It's for my better good.
Yeah.
So anything that's for your better good, why wouldn't I chase that?
Yeah.
So that's what makes me an action taker. I know it's for my better good. I can do it every day. And I can take immediate action because if I tell myself I want to be better and it's for my better good, why wouldn't I do it?
That's good, girl.
I know it's for my better good. So I ate 3 boiled eggs and I still do the same thing. But I got the same habits. I eat half a grapefruit every morning. This is plus 10 plus years ago. I do half a grapefruit every morning. I do the same habits. I'm not going to change it because it works. Well, we try to get too fancy. We get too fancy in our processes. Don't get fancy.
I love that, girl. Yeah, keep it simple, right? The KISS method. Keep it stupid simple or simple stupid.
Simple, simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Yep.
Oh, that's good, girl. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I would love to hear a little bit about like your faith. Did your faith play a role at all in your journey? Was that a part of any of your deciding factors, or was this just all crystal?
It was all crystal. There was no, at that point in my life, my faith wasn't where it's at now. So it wasn't faith. Mine had nothing to do with faith then. Now my journey now has a lot to do with faith because I'm in a different season in life. But my faith in my 20s, it wasn't my faith. It was, you need to do it, Crystal. You need to just do it. Like, it wasn't a faith thing for me. Now it is. But back then it wasn't.
Yeah. How do you feel
Yeah.
the contrast is from then to now in regards to your intentions in your health journey?
Sometimes I wonder, like right now, I feel like I am struggling with some changes with my body. So sometimes, now I will say, sometimes faith for me almost makes me feel too relaxed, where I'm not too faithful. That's not a thing, but I'm just so relaxed with life and the flow that I'm almost too relaxed now, where I've been figuring out how do I tap back into her, where she was like, no, this is because you want to look and feel this way. Get to it, right? I'm just like, oh, it'll come, it'll come, it'll come. So now I'm in this whimsical faith-like feel. And I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest, Carrie, because I think that is not the motivation that pushes me the most. I'm be honest, it's not. That Crystal, that version of me pushed me to a different level. My faith does make me feel I know it's going to happen, but it makes me, and it's like whimsical. This is life. It's great. Life is happy. And I think so I have to find a balance, right? Life is about yin and yang. How do you find the balance of both? So I want to find some parts about her that push me to feeling better. And I want to keep my newfound faith-like approach from it, but I got to find some balance because I'm in complete faith right now with it. And it's like, well, faith doesn't help you lose that much weight for me because you got to have some strength training. You got to have some muscle. Yeah. You got to have a good balance of faith and endurance. You got to have a big balance. So that's where I'm currently at, is how do I balance new Crystal and the old Crystal who could drop 60 pounds all by herself. Yeah, I gotta find a balance between them.
Especially with you being a very big action taker, right? Sometimes the faith, it says to be still and know. Like, it's like there's some times where like the action we have to not be so go. It's like we're still taking steps, like we're still moving forward, but it's not at that lightning fast pace of like we're hitting it hard. But again, like you said, with your personality, the personality traits, it could feel uncomfortable. It's like, wait, where does this fit? Is it like the jacket that doesn't like, I love it, but it just doesn't fit right anymore. It's kind of uncomfortable, That's how I get PMS. I'm like, nothing fits right. Nothing's comfortable. I'm like, pulling everything. Like, it's like, let's just get back to where I know feels good. I totally get it, girl. And it's an uncomfortable place. It's almost like that shedding off. So that like a snake shedding off that old skin so the new can come through.
Yeah. And I got to find a balance between the new. So that's a perfect analogy because I am uncomfortable and I have to find how do I balance that discomfort and what do I need, what attributes of her do I need to pull in, what attributes of this new one do I need to keep, right? And how do I balance them to push while having faith a little bit, to be the action taker, that go hard getter, but balance and know that everything is working out in God's time and God's will, right? I got to find the balance of those two right now because I can confidently say I do not have the balance and I want it. I do want the balance. So that is like the new place I'm in, is like, how do I find the balance between those two versions of me?
And I feel, girl, like ambitious, driven women, this is something that I think we have in common because we want to go, we want to get to it. We know what, but then it's like, it again, it's that push, that pull, that push, that pull. And it's finding that place where it's less of a push and a drastic change between the two, right? Like it's going along. And I think it changes with each season that we find ourselves in though too.
Yep. It does. It does. Like I said, that season was instantly drop weight. And I instantly did it. And it wasn't this push. And now I'm in this new season and it's not instantly drop weight. It's not happening that instant as it did before. So I'm finding some discomfort and I can't do it right away.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? And there's not anything wrong with me. I'm in a new season and I'm in a new body. First of all, I'm getting older, right? I'm in a new season, I'm in a new body, and I'm in a new mindset. Very all three foreign, right? Never been this age before. I've never been in this place in my life before. These are all three new places. I have to get comfortable with these three new areas of my life. And then maybe I have to learn how to trickle parts about my old life, the comfortable parts, the good parts back in. But this is just new space for me. And I'm trying to look at it from that lens so I don't beat up on myself about why I can't accomplish this now when I did it before. So I'm not going to beat up on myself. I'm just going to find my new normal in this space and let that be it.
And I love you said about before, because I think we can also get caught in what we used to be able to do and think we should be able to do it now. And then we can fall down that path of beating up, like, well, how come I can't do it now? But like you just said, I mean, new space, new season, new body. I hit 40s and everything. I know what to do, but knowing what I know and it's still not happening can be very discouraging at times until the realization is, hey, it's not going to work the same because my body has changed. It's older. It's gone through more. And there's adaptations that happen that we have to, walk in until that part's done. And then we, again, have another new season to step into, the good old perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. Yay for womanhood. But again, right. It's only that these changes are normal. And I don't know about you, but I'm not after getting my body back like I had it at 20, because I know my body's not 20 anymore. It's almost 42. So, but looking back at what we have accomplished and birthed babies and have survived and we're still going and we look amazing, like, it's, I guess, the lens we choose to see ourselves out of and what we want to accomplish and the intention of it, I think is so important. But I love what you said. It's like pulling those pieces from that part of you to where you're currently at and then marrying them together in a way that works for you so you can continue on your journey of living a healthy lifestyle.
Yep. You have to find a way to marry them together and be okay that it's going to look different. It's going to look different. It's not going to look the same. And you have to be okay with that first, especially as you're getting in a different stage in your life and you are becoming more seasoned, right? More wise, that we got to understand it's going to look different and be okay with it. It's going to look different. So I am okay that this is going to look different for me. I just want to, I'm really more intentional about finding the balance between I love my faith. But I love my fitness. I love both of them. I have an equal love for both, to be honest. I have an equal love for both. I have an equal love for fitness. I still go to the gym 5 days a week, every morning, same time. People, we have to start building the right habits in our day. It's not going to happen without the habits. It's not going to happen without you can call it robots, programming, call it whatever you want to, but you got to build some consistency in what you do. So because I started that day, that next morning, I woke up and I started walking at 5 a.m. I get up every day for the gym at 5 a.m. This is 14 years later, and I still do the same thing. Now, the reason I'm going to the gym now is more of mindset. It's my spiritual time. It's my time to listen to my faith-based material. It's the time to read a book. I'm on the treadmill, I'm usually reading. And I noticed that change went from grinding on strength to like, I'm going to read a book. All right. And it just instantly changed. I was like, what am I doing? Who is she? All right. Like she hits the weights. She gets it done. And I saw this change in me happen where it was more of, I'm listening to Joel Osteen on it's not too much cardio. You're going to get in listening to Joel Osteen in the morning, right? So I noticed that change And it was more, all right, this is the season for my mind. I did the season for my body. God wants me to work on my mind right now. So my gym time became my mind time. And it wasn't this strenuous activity happening, but I was keeping my muscles going. I was keeping the system in place. And I know that when the time comes, and it is coming back, now that I'm going to marry some mindset with some hardcore fitness, and then I'm going to marry the two together, and then I'm really going to be at my ultimate place I want to be. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be it's gonna be a really sweet spot, right? It's gonna be better than the first time. That's how I think of it. I'm gonna be better than the first time. The first time I only had fitness, I didn't have faith at this level. So now I'm gonna have like my two loves in one place.
See, I love
I
that.
can't
Girl.
wait.
I love that perspective. I love that. And that grace too of you noticing the shifts that were happening. Like you're like, huh. It's almost like you were seeing yourself, like, right, you're over here looking at yourself over here, going on the treadmill, reading a book. Like,
Yeah.
you always went over here to this weights, grow up. But you allowed that, right, to see what it was that was shifting, to give yourself space for that, because that's what you needed in that season. I think that's important too, because we can get stuck on, oh, I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do that. When we get stuck on the shoulds, then we kind of lose sight of the real intention of why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
No, I love that, girl. I would love to, if you have maybe one thing you want to impart to those listening, words of wisdom, encouragement that you have before we sign off.
Be okay with what your version of this journey looks like. It does not have to look like anyone else's. It's your journey. It's not theirs. I don't care what everybody else is doing. I don't care how everyone else did it. I don't care what the gurus say how you should do it. It's your journey. It's your personal journey. It's your health. It should look your way. And I don't care how boring it looks. Like mine looks super boring to people. People were like, aren't you tired of eating that? Actually, I'm not, because it's going to make me the best me. So why would I be tired of it? Why would I be tired of doing something that makes me good and not letting people try to change what you know is best for you? So make it yours and make it unique and be okay with that.
Love it, girl.
And even if it's going to get some old Denise Austin tapes and starting to walk in your living room, because I love Denise Austin still, and going to walk in your living room. So what? That's what it looks like.
Exactly. I used to do Buns of Steel videos. I forgot the guy's name, but he used to wear like those Richard Simmons short shorts and leg warmers.
Yes.
It was
I still do to this day. I still do, what is her name? Walk at Home, Suzanne.
Suzanne Summers?
Is this Suzanne Summers? Is that her name? Is that her? Is she the Walk at Home one?
I don't know, maybe. I think it comes to me, Suzanne Summers.
I gotta look it up. But she does Walk at Home. Even if you like YouTube this, she does Walk at Home, right? And I still do those. She is an older lady in her, like, probably her 70s. I still walk at home with her.
I love it.
If it doesn't like the fit people with the cute outfits, she's gonna give me some results. I'm doing walk at home with Suzanne in the morning if I need to stay home and work out. So it's being okay that it's not the popular thing, right? It's not the thing that everyone is doing. And I'm nowhere near her age, right? But so people are like, oh, you should be doing more than walking. You're 30 something. You should be doing more than walking. No, I shouldn't. I'm okay with walking with her for an hour in my living room because this is my capacity right now. So you make your journey yours and don't make it look like anyone else's. And I'm saying this to myself again too. So it's like, I need to say this to myself right now.
I love that, girl. I love it. Because yeah, I mean, depending on our personalities, I know I can get stuck in thinking, oh, I have to do it this way because this is how they got results. So I better do it that way or else I won't. And then we can get stuck in that all or nothing. It's like, if I don't do this, then I won't get results, where that's not the case.
Correct. Yep.
No, I love it, girl. I love it, love it. Well, thank you for coming on and sharing your story and your journey with us. I hope, well, I know it has impacted those who are listening. So yeah, you're awesome, girl. I love it. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, girl. Thank you, thank you, thank you.